Hey, Nation, back with Ben Baker, north of the border up in Vancouver. Are you in the heat dome that everybody's hitting on the West Coast?
You know what? Thank God the heat dome is starting to come. We got wind today, probably somewhere in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. That is, the trees are bending over. But we have been in about 90 days of 85 to 90 degrees. And for the West Coast, that's warm. No one here has air conditioning. Our houses are not built for it. So, for us to sit there and say, well, it's 92 degrees, and my friends in Texas going, hey, that's a spring day.
Yeah, I spent darn near the month of August in Seattle with my summerbird snowbird strategy. Didn't make it as far north as you, but what a relief, because the Texas had the heat dome this summer. I mean, it was some real heat, let me tell you.
Well, I look at it and say I probably lost 8 to 10 pounds, just sitting in my office in my chair. It's the perfect weight loss. I can sit there, I can work all day, and I'm still losing weight.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been a few months. We're headed into fall.
Sure.
What's new? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you predicting?
It's interesting. I mean, we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. We've got we still have the great resignation coming down the pipe. We still have, all this quiet quitting, which, it's really interesting to see how are people, defining it. What are they defining the quiet quitting? And then we have the big R coming down the pipe. And It's going to be interesting to see how all of those things come together. And, when we bring them all together, when we smash them together like an atom, what's going to happen? Is it going to implode or is it going to explode? And I think that a lot of companies right now are sitting by the sidelines going, all right, let's keep an eye open. Let's sit there and say things are going well today. Things are interesting. There's still conversations going on, but we're not really sure what's coming up next. And you have a whole slew of industries out there. Some people are extremely optimistic. Some people are extremely pessimistic. And a lot of people are just, they got one hand on the throttle and one hand on the cash register. And they're just sitting there going, all right, which way do we go?
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see, what does the next 6 months bring with all that coming together?
Yeah, I concur. This one's different. I've been on today's it's early September. It's my time to kind of load up with some podcasts. You know the business all too well. And,
absolutely.
This one's different. Well, you can say they're all different. 07, 08 was different. The pandemic was different, but yet again, this one's different in my mind's eye as a layperson, because, you got the increasing rate environment, and I get that. But then you have, super strong employment numbers, right?
Absolutely.
So this one's different, man.
Well, and the thing is you and I, have a few gray hairs on the side of our temples, and we've seen this before. I mean, I remember, going in 1999, 2000. I remember, stuff before that. And so this is not my first trip to the rodeo. And what I realize is it could either be worse than we think, it could be better than we think, but there's always opportunity in every single recession and every single change. There's opportunity. It's a matter of sitting there going, okay, what's next? What are people afraid of? What are people challenged by? What are people, optimistic about? What do people want to do? What are they not able to do because they don't have the experience, skill, or expertise themselves? How can I help? And I think that those are the people that are resilient, creative, adaptable, are going to find a way through this. And they're going to actually come out of this thing with some more, shekels in their wallet, based on the fact that they're sitting there going, all right, just because the market's down for some people means that the market's up for somebody else. And it's being able to sit there and say, all right, where's the wind going and how do I set my sail to be able to take advantage of it?
Yeah. And then down here, throw on the complexities of it's an election year in the US.
Absolutely.
And I'll just leave it at that. Folks, get involved, left, right, red, blue, get involved. That's all I'm going to say, right? Just get involved so you can't complain from the sofa. But it's an election year, and so that's a whole nother dynamic, is to, what realistically could pass through the U.S. Senate and House and get signed at this late date. We're just after Labor Day down here, and I don't know. There's some initiatives and a startup I'm involved in where I'd like to see some movement in passage of a couple of bills. Not going to happen. I mean, I'm talking to people that do public policy. Not going to happen.
No, and that's the thing is that the government shuts down. I mean, it gets earlier and earlier every election. It really truly does, because everybody's afraid that they say the wrong thing, or they do the wrong thing, or they back the wrong initiative. So it's better to do nothing than do something at all. And I think that's a lesson of something we need to stop doing. It doesn't matter if we're public politicians or bureaucrats or private business owners. Doing nothing is not an option, because when we do nothing, we're putting our faith in our fate in somebody else's hands. When we do something, when we make a decision and go, all right, this is the information I have in front of me, this is the opportunities I have in front of me, I'm going to pick this one. Are you going to get 100% of the opportunities right? Are you going to make 100% of the decisions right every single time? No, you're not. None of us are. But by not making a decision, by not moving forward, by not taking advantage of whatever, all you're doing is putting you in a position where you're going to start sliding backwards because you're not moving forward.
Yeah. And no, I hear you. Well, hey, we'll catch up to you next quarter. Maybe look at predictions for 2023.
I would love that.
Yeah, let's keep this party going. Get on down here to Austin. We're just headed into. We started with weather, and I'll end on weather, because we broke the heat dome. We're down, in my mind's eye, 20 degrees. It's festival season. So
nice.
All the festivals are now starting down here. So we're headed into a wonderful 9 months after a horrible 3 months. And so when you get those November monsoons, I know you're part of the world. Pop on down, and we'll go find us a turkey and catch it and have a turkey day.
so can I sleep on your couch for South by Southwest? Is that the opportunity?
There you go. All right.